Okay, now we're on.
You gotta wear your mask, people. The Rona is everywhere.
Corona.
My Corona. It's
Is it
crazy.
getting worse on your end there? I don't follow the news, and
Not not here where I'm at, which is still in Maryland. This state is pretty good when it comes to handling the Rona. We got the Rona on in control pretty much, but the country in general, honestly, dude, to be honest, I haven't been really paying attention with the news like lately. So maybe it's still going on pretty bad, but
maybe
who
because it's
knows?
safe on your end, right? Like
Yeah,
even
I mean,
here, like the cases are rising. So, and even my fiance is a little worried. You know, she doesn't really want to go back to work. That's the
yeah, I
gist of it.
mean, understandably so, especially if she's got a new kid.
Yeah.
Well,
Now I have to take over.
not a new kid, but fairly
Yeah,
new.
yeah,
Yeah, you got to take over, Mr. Mom.
yeah.
You're Mr.
Do-
Mom.
Should we talk about the fact that we've been canceling for the last? We canceled a few times. Recording.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Let's start with the first
well,
one. The first
yeah,
cancellation.
the first cancellation was last week. So, what? This we skipped a week basically.
Well, we had to, because then because you and I have full-time jobs, and
Well, that's not the
what.
reason. That's not the
Well, I
reason.
have no. That was well. That's my reason, right?
Well, that's not my reason. Because yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I was the one who canceled on you. Let's just be clear. I know you're trying to be private
Oh,
with it, but
right, right, right.
yeah, I canceled on you. So
Which is fine with me.
basically,
Okay.
yeah, but like we talked about this. Well, let me tell the story about my what
Why you
happened to me
canceled?
last week. Yeah,
Yep.
so I went back home to Georgia
Mm-hmm.
past weekend, and I had a very busy weekend last week.
Mm-hmm.
I had a wedding to go to, which I want to get into because it's
Mm-hmm.
it's very strange having a wedding in like the pandemic. But
Yeah. Let's
aside
get
from
into that. That's a good
yeah,
topic. Yeah.
yeah, aside from that, yeah, it was just so tired, and I had to cancel out on you like last minute, like I don't know, like 30 minutes before. Like I told you that I was like I was so tired.
Yeah, and that's understandable. I think I remember you saying that you only had 4 hours of sleep or something.
Something
You
along
drive all
those
the way.
lines.
Yeah, because you drove all
Yeah.
the way down to Macon, right?
Yeah, he drove all the way from
How long does
Maryland to
that take?
Georgia. About 10 to 11 hours.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's
That's a long
pretty.
drive. Were you driving
Yeah,
by
yeah.
yourself, or were you with a friend?
I was with a friend. I was with a dog.
Or or with a special friend? I don't know.
No, yeah, yeah.
Really?
Meaning my
With a dog?
dog. Yeah, my
So what
dog. I always bring my dog.
so how do you know if he needs to poop or something? Or take a piss?
Well, he usually has a set schedule, anyways. Like he goes to the bathroom in the mornings and at nights.
Okay.
So for the most part, I just like let him out one time. Like if I go like to take my pee break, I let him out to go to take his pee break. But for the
Ooh,
most part, it's
okay. Okay. I'm gonna take this conversation to, I guess, like the pee. Uh, are we talking about like a gas station, or are we talking about just on the
no like
highway?
no rest stops. I don't know if you guys have that in Canada, but in the interstates,
We
there's rest
probably
stops.
do, even for pets.
Yeah, like most rest
I
stops
have no idea.
have.
I have no idea. I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
what most rest stops or even like most like establishments have a designated thing for pets. Like they have
Okay.
like
I
a pet
haven't seen one.
waste. Yeah, pet waste
Okay.
trash can. I mean, I don't know if it's just an America thing, but
Eh,
that's what.
If it's in America, there's a high likelihood that it's all in North America, or
Yeah,
probably in Europe too, right? You know what I mean?
you know what? It's probably because you don't have a pet, so you don't really you don't worry
Exactly.
about those things.
And here's the other thing. I don't go for long drives like that or road trips. I'd
I
rather
mean,
take the plane.
you don't need to go on long breaks to see rest stops. I mean, long breaks, long drives to see rest stops. There's supposed to be rest stops on like interstate.
Oh,
It's
okay.
required. Anyways,
Oh,
this is
it's a requirement. Anyways, yeah, I don't want to take it.
yeah, yeah. I believe
Yeah.
it is a requirement, but yeah. So I had to go to a wedding,
Uh huh.
and it was really strange because obviously like you have to like social distance. So we had
How did they pull it? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, you're fine.
Just-
Okay,
I have
so
a billion freaking questions.
we I actually wasn't able to attend the actual ceremony because there's only limited people that's allowed inside the chapel.
That
So
makes
it's
sense.
only it's only like basically like the entourage and like the sponsors and all the
Yeah.
Nino
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
Ninang.
Yeah.
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 And
Basically,
everybody else,
the main members of the
yeah, like
ceremony. Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the ones that matter, like not like
Right.
people whatever. So anyways, everybody else that's invited just went straight to like reception.
Okay.
So that was, and I believe in the state of Georgia, it's still there's a limit to the number of people that you can put in like an event or a place, like a public
Right. Right.
setting.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's like under, I don't remember, but there's also like weird rules. Like you have to be like 6 feet apart. You have to wear,
Yeah.
your mask for the most part. That was weird because I haven't been socialized like that. I haven't been in a setting or an event where I've met so many
Of
people. I've
course.
been around in freaking 5 months, dude. Like it's been a while. So it was weird, but it was awesome at the same time. Because it's like and, and
Okay.
and like my situation that I've been up here in Maryland for the for the
Yeah.
whole entirety of the pandemic pretty much, and I've been solo. I've been with my
Mm-hmm.
dog, but I've been pretty much by myself. Like no
Mm-hmm.
physical contact, no besides work. Like I don't have any like contact
Social
or social.
interaction with
Thank you. Social interaction. So that was like the best. It was the best
really.
for a while. Like
It was
it.
refreshing,
Yeah, it
right?
was refreshing. It was good to reconnect with friends. Just
It's all it is, right?
being.
Like when you go back to
Yeah,
where you came from, right?
yeah. I mean, if it would have happened somewhere else, it still would have been as awesome because it's just the whole like
The old gang, right?
no, not even. I mean, of course, like reconnecting with my friends was
Mm-hmm.
cool, but I'm saying like just being able to socially connect with people after
Oh,
like
okay, I
months
see.
is awesome. Like
Yeah.
I think besides the fact that the things that I went through this past couple of months, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to delve into it. I
Right,
think
right.
I think I might have had like a low grade depression. Like just realizing that, like, oh man, like I've missed this. Like I've missed this. Like I felt like,
Mm-hmm.
how this sounds so cliche. Like this is gonna sound so cliche, but like when a plant hasn't been watered in so long, and you're in a
Yeah, yeah.
drought. Yeah, it's like that. It was just like the water was like overflowing, and my you know I'm like a plant. I'm just like, oh shoot, let me
Did you
grow, baby.
did you end up drinking all the wine because you're so,
No, no,
Yeah. I'm
none of
kidding.
that. Well,
I'm
I
kidding.
I
I'm kidding.
I ate like a lot. Like basically,
Yeah.
my diet has suffered.
I think like whenever I go on Instagram, I don't really look at people's stories. I just look at posts, right? And I think I might have seen a kind of like a picture of you guys taking in a photo booth or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just seeing, okay, so that one's okay. I'm
No,
not
no,
just seeing
yeah,
things
yeah.
then.
No. That was from
Okay,
last week. Yeah.
so now here's the question: what happened to the social distancing then when you guys took that picture? It was kind of like, oh, fuck it, like just take a picture. This is a
Yeah,
one-time event.
no, it's more of a you use your own discretion type thing. You're supposed to
Yeah,
wear a mask, but like
yeah,
if I found, it was a little bit on the irresponsible side when it comes to that. But
yeah.
like for example, if I see you like in the middle of this, I'm gonna give you a hug. Like I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I'm not gonna be like,
and I'm gonna be like,
oh, bro, like get
oh,
away from her. Yeah, like
it's not just
if you
defensive, right? Like
no, not just that. Like I just like I wouldn't be able to stop myself just because
you haven't
of
been out in so long.
yeah. And then it's more like you're being malambing, or you're
Right,
being
right, right.
what's the
I
term
don't
in
even know how
English?
to.
You're
There's probably
and
different ways of saying it, right?
yeah, I don't
Like in
want to
English,
not so much like you're being well, you're kind of being sweet, but not in like a romantic type of way, kind of thing.
right?
Um, it's like
Yeah,
you just
well, it's just that like you're just showing you appreciate the person that you met
you're
because
being
you haven't
you
seen them in such a
I get it. You're being
something like that.
affectionate. You're being affectionate. That's what it is. So yeah, so that's what happened, man. Like it's been a busy weekend. I
I'm
went back
surprised.
up.
Yeah.
Mm, no, no.
Let's get back to the wedding. I'm surprised she, whoever this person, like your friend, kept going with the
So
weddings
she,
because there's a lot of there's a lot of weddings and parties. Oh no, weddings this year that has been canceled because of the pandemic, and it's heartbreaking, right? Because then you know exactly,
yeah.
it's heartbreaking. You know what I mean? It's heartbreaking. It has to be, you cancel the last minute. You didn't think this whole thing is gonna happen. There's all that planning involved for the past few months, I would think.
However months, yeah. Let me
Yeah,
ask you.
it's
Let me ask you something. What episode are we on?
I think we're in episode 7.
Is it seven? Um,
I think so.
should we get into this now or no?
Get into what, like, well, unless you want to
Yeah.
talk about The Alchemist, because that was where we left off last time. There's a few
No, no,
things over,
no. Yeah, no. I mean, if it comes up, it comes up.
right?
I don't.
Well, right now we're talking about weddings, so I don't know if you want to go that route, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't. I think if I'm ready to talk about it, I think I will be. But right now, I just feel there's still some kind of like, I don't think I'm
Not right
ready.
now, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah. So,
so what else happened then?
so yeah, I met up with one of my buddies. He moved to California. He's from the same class as I am.
Mm-hmm.
So he graduate when we graduate, like when we both graduated, and I moved up here. He moved up to California. It
We're
just
in
so happened
California.
that for a job. Oh, we're in
No,
California,
where, where, where in California?
near the Bay.
Okay, near San Francisco,
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay,
sorry. Yeah,
okay,
the Bay Area, San Francisco, all that.
okay, okay.
It just so happened that he was in town as well, the same time I was in town. So, hung
Oh,
out with him.
oh, so
Yeah,
he wasn't part of the wedding or anything like that. It just turned out that both of you guys are
yeah,
in Macon at the same time. Huh.
yeah, yeah. Completely. Well, yeah. He's in the military, and he had to do like a I don't know the term, but he had to do like some kind of training. That's why I had to
Oh,
come home.
interesting.
Yeah.
So what's it?
So
So what's it like?
mhm, it was
Me-
fun, man. Like we went back to our college. We just you know took a little stroll, see how weird it was.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
did all that, and then I don't know went back home. And just to I don't know if you remember, I'm actually moving down to Georgia.
You were planning to, right?
hmm Well, it's
Moving
not a
back. You
plan.
mean
It's
moving back to Georgia? You mean? Right.
yeah, for like temporarily moving back to Georgia. I'm
Uh-huh.
actually I, I'm only going to be here for a week and a half. Like I'm moving back in the end of the month. And well,
Okay.
as we're recording this, it's what the 21st of August, the 22nd.
It's
I don't
22nd,
remember.
22nd,
Is it the
22nd.
22nd? So like the first week of September, that's when I'm moving down. So don't be surprised. One of the next episodes, there'll be a different background. So it'll
You,
be
you're gonna be in your same room as last time.
yeah, no, I'll be down. It'll be in Georgia, so
Uh-huh.
that'll be the case. So
Well, your background this time is different too, right? Like you're
it's
against the
yeah,
wall or something.
I just turned it around, but I'm in
Oh,
the
okay,
same
I see.
spot. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So that's the plan, baby. I'm gonna be in Georgia for a little bit.
You
Um,
mean, what do you mean? What do you mean by a little bit? Might want to expand on that one. Why a little bit? Why not stay there a little more permanently? Or are you
okay,
just trying to?
okay.
Are you just testing the waters and then?
Um, okay. Let me expand. So that the goal is actually to move to Florida. That's where my next move is. That's where I plan on going. And what was I gonna say? As soon as I find a job in Florida,
Mhm.
that's that. I'm still gonna stay in Georgia. I don't know if you
Right.
heard that. I think you kind of froze a little bit.
I froze there. I don't know. There's something. I think there's something wrong with my phone, but
Did you hear what
carry
I
on.
said though?
No, missed
Oh, okay.
all of it.
Okay. So Florida is the move. That's the next
Okay.
relocation part. But for now, while I'm looking for jobs, I'm going back home first.
Oh, why Florida out of all the places?
It's a long story. You want me to get into it?
Sure. This is going to be like an interview. Like, what
I know. It's like a
what made you wanna just move out there? Because I can relate too. Like, there's a reason why I moved to Toronto.
yeah. This might actually go into a little bit of the alchemist side of conversation, to be honest.
Okay.
So let me paint a background about both of us first,
Okay.
because yeah, this we both we're. I feel like you're about to say something. Go ahead.
No, 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 no. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to preface that we both come from a place where we both believe in like spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're more on the spiritual side. I'm a little bit more on the religious side, but
Okay.
we're very in tune with that type of
Mm-hmm.
our
Mm-hmm.
personality. So after I decided that I needed to leave Maryland, I asked for some signs, to where I should go,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
Some guidance, whatever. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually, I believe that I got the signs.
Okay.
And my interpretation is I need to go back down to Florida.
Okay.
So that's why I'm moving down there. I feel like that's the next spot.
So you're saying it was more of just like an instinct then, right? That's driving it,
Mm,
or is there like a logical plan as to um, you know, that's the reason why I'm asking, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm sure there's more to the story, but I'm not quite sure either if it's something that's too personal, right? Are you trying to
I
follow
think
someone down there, or
no, no,
is
no,
that the
no,
case? Or is
yeah,
it
no,
like a
no,
like a
it's nothing like no person's involved. There's no
okay,
people. There's no one that's involved. There's no person. It's more like I said. I asked the powers that be for some signs.
mm-hmm. What
You
led
know,
it like, yeah. So did you
and
see a flamingo or something? When I see Florida,
somewhere
man.
somewhere along those lines, bro. Like it's like that. It's like it's gonna sound weird and stuff. It's not flamingo, you dummy. But you know what I mean. It's like it reminds
Yeah.
me of I forgot what it's called in The Alchemist. Um, what's his name again? Francisco, the boy,
Santiago.
Santiago. So Santiago had these two pebbles, the black one and
Right.
the white one. I
Yeah,
forget what
yeah.
it's called. And
Touring or something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And it teaches us that sometimes you need to rely on fate
Yep.
in order to in order for you, especially when you're lost. Like you need divine intervention to help you figure out your next move. And that's what I did.
Toss the coin and you're like, this is where I'm headed. Let's
And
go
more or
check it out.
less, yeah, it's an adventure, baby.
It is. And that's one of the reasons why um let me share the reason why I moved to Toronto. I could have moved to Vancouver too because I have a friend there as well. However, um I guess I know more people in Toronto. That's one of the reasons why I moved there. Like I have to plan it as well. I can't just, leave just like that. I'll be honest, I was at a stage in my life back then where I'm depressed. I'm fucking bored as fuck. I want to get the fuck out of here. I'm talking about Winnipeg. Get the fuck out of Winnipeg, right? Because I want to see, I want to know what's out there. And, and sure enough, like, I have a few friends that moved there, and I guess the think my reasoning behind that is if I had more friends that are out there, there I'll have more support when I need help, right? They can show me around. They know, like, they, because they've been living there for quite a while.
Yeah, it's a
If I needed something,
it's logical
right?
reasons.
And I made sure that I saved enough money, right, before moving there. So yeah, that's really my reason. Uh, but the big again, the biggest reason is, um, I was bored with my. I think I was depressed with my life here in Winnipeg. I wasn't happy. So then by, you know, leaving or moving to a new place that I haven't been to before, everything's gonna be fucking new. There's gonna be lots of new challenges. I mean, and and then I realized that maybe that's what I was looking for. I'm looking for a change, and moving to a different city will give me that change that I'm seeking. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, life in Toronto for me is a lot tougher than Winnipeg. It's beyond my comfort zone. When I moved to Toronto, it's pretty much like the opposite. Back home, like, back in Winnipeg, I lived with my parents. In Toronto, I lived with, Albert. It's in an apartment, right? The job that I had, I worked in the shop floor as opposed to working in the office here in Winnipeg. I had a car here. Out there, I didn't have a car. It takes me 30 minutes to get to work here. Out in Toronto, it takes me about an hour and a half, and I have to take uh, the streetcar, like, a train on. This, I had to take the streetcar. I had to take the bus and then the subway. Then I had to walk a little bit just to get to work. It's
It's just basically, yeah,
pretty rough.
basically all the aspects of your experience were all new. It's like you're taking in like new
Oh
input.
yeah, and
But
and that.
wait,
Go
let me
ahead.
ask you though, did those make you feel not depressed? Did those make you feel alive?
Um, it
Even
did.
though it was a struggle,
It
it
did.
was. Mhm,
Weirdly enough, it did. I was looking for that struggle. I don't want to fucking
mhm.
take it easy, right? Because out here in Winnipeg back then, I had it easy, right? I was living with my parents. I don't have to worry about, payment. Like, I don't have my own car. I could just borrow my dad's car. So in terms of my finances, I was able to save up a lot, and you know that's what enabled me to travel as much as I can. But when I was in Toronto, well, I gotta be fucking tight with my money. I had to make sure I budgeted properly, and yeah. And however, things didn't um, things didn't turn things didn't work out for me either in Toronto. But the whole experience was worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
looking
that's
back,
when, yeah. I I was. Well, here's the thing. When I just moved there, 3 months after, no, not even 3 months. I think 2 weeks after I moved there, I was able to get a job interview, or I was able to land a job right away, which was pretty cool, right? So I'm like, okay, things are working out, perfect. Um, However, 6 months after, I decided to quit. I wasn't happy with the job that I had, and the life that I lived there. It didn't feel like, when I talk to my friends in Toronto, like, talk about, like, going to parties and all that other stuff, right? Man, I didn't do any of that shit, right? Sometimes when I talk to people who's lived in Toronto, they talk about, partying and living the life, I guess, of a student, but I never really experienced that. A lot of it was just work, and after work, I'm just tired as fuck, so I just want to stay home. I don't drink. Like, I had a friend out there who would take me out and go out for a drink sometimes, but that's about it. Um, again, it's not as I didn't get to experience Toronto the way that I should be experiencing Toronto. You know, if that even makes sense. So, but then I learned a lot from that experience. I was
I was
unemployed
gonna
for, yeah.
I was gonna say that. I think the purpose of your little adventure wasn't in the details, like the day-to-day details, like your job or whatever. It The lessons that you've learned from living independently per se, like away from your family, your experiences,
New
you've
people,
gained,
right?
yeah, you've gained like
Uh-huh.
skills, or you've learned something from that, and that carried you on even now, probably.
Oh yeah. And here's the
So
thing:
there was
when
purpose.
when I left my job, because I was unhappy with my employer, and it was their fault. It was my fault. I just kept signing things. I didn't even fucking read it. They basically wanted me to work for I think 10 extra hours with no pay. I didn't even look into the contract until later. But anyways, and then I left, and then I started looking for another job. Uh, but fuck, I couldn't find a job, and I was unemployed for I'd say 8 months. So imagine that. I was unemployed
Long.
for 8 months.
How long were you in Toronto for?
Um, if I was
Two
unemployed for eight
years?
months, no, I'd say a year. Excuse me,
Mm.
maybe a year and a half. No, I think a year. I can't even remember anymore. Um, but no, it has to be less than 2 years. Um, but I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, 2 years. But then I was unemployed, right? And
Hmm.
that unemployment was a it's what changed my life. When you're unemployed, man, you don't have money to spend.
Oh, I know this feeling.
You're at home all the fucking time, right?
It makes you feel like this small.
Yeah, right. And then, but at the same time, because you don't have a job to go to, like I used the time to take care of myself. That meant, like even though I'm jobless, I was able to spend money on, going to the gym every day. And then I met a friend of a friend who talked about, I don't know, she was into eating salads. We went out to a restaurant, and she ordered salad. And I think she said something interesting about salads. And I'm like, why can't I do that? Why don't I want to eat salad? Why don't I eat healthier? And sure enough, that's when I started eating salad too. Point I'm trying to make is that's when I started really taking care of my health. And because I don't have money, I had the whole time to read books and just reflect on uh, myself, me as a person. And that's when I started getting into self improvement books. And then that's when I started, you know, taking control of my really my fate, if you that's what you want to call it. I no longer rely on signs, kind of like you mentioned. I still do once in a while. Right now, I just feel like I'm more in control of my life. You know, it's a game changer. That's all I could say. Maybe
I
that.
really I really hope that I'm not it's not gonna take me 8 months for me to move to Florida. That's for sure. Um, there's a little bit of worry, especially around because it's a pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, the the thing is weird right now. You know, the landscape of like jobs. But
Hmm.
I don't think it will. But let's hope not. But just going back on what you said a while ago, I wrote it down actually because I won't forget it. It's from this very smart
Mhm.
and wise person named J.
Mhm.
Cole. And
Okay, I've
one of
heard of him.
mhm, one of his songs, um, I'm gonna quote like there's beauty in the struggle, there's ugliness in the success. And
Mhm.
the first part, there's beauty in the struggle, that resonates to me. It's sometimes like a lot of people, I've had a conversation with this to someone like lately, how people sometimes they just worry about the result, and because they're so scared or they're so intimidated by the process, like the journey, they fail at a lot of their goals because they don't want to experience that struggle before the success. But you could you can make an argument that the process is as important as the end result is.
It's
Sometimes
it's much it's much
it
more
might be
important.
more, right? It might be more. It's long
Mhm.
lasting. It builds
Mhm.
a lot of things.
That,
So
that reminds me of something. I
what?
One of my MS Paint drawings, by the way. I don't you probably won't remember it, but there's this monk, right? That I drew a monk, and
Is it
you know,
Avatar Ang? No, I'm kidding. Go
no,
ahead.
no, no, it's not Avatar, and it's just like two trees in that image, and one, two trees, exact same trees. One is going to the top, and one is just right at the at the bottom level. Um, if you're the monk, and if like the trees is kind of like your goal, there's really two ways of getting to your goal, right? You can go straight there. There are shortcuts that you can take, or you can go on a journey. But know that if you go on a journey, there's a lot of setbacks that's gonna come at you. You don't even know what they are, and each of those setbacks or challenges is what's gonna equip you with something much better, right?
Hmm.
You'll get to your destination more prepared than you ever thought. Sometimes you're probably
Yep,
you're even gonna gain more.
I
But
agree.
so it just reminded me of that, right?
Yeah,
Um, and even
it's
today, right? It
uh-huh.
same mindset today.
Is it weird that whenever I think about that right now, like, oh man,
Hmm.
there's so many uncertainties like
Hmm.
in my future right now. It's
Hmm.
weird. Is it weird that I'm so excited for it? Like I'm just like it makes me feel, cliche again, makes me feel alive. Makes me
It's
feel
not.
alive.
It's
I'm like
Yeah. It's not. I
I'm ready, bro. It's
understand.
like an adventure, man. It's an adventure.
It like for me though, like if I was to look back, it was more of like a mixture of you're I'm scared and I'm excited at the same time,
Of course. Of
right?
course.
Because there are surprises. There are things that you're not going to be able to.
I mean, man, of
Yeah.
course things are gonna suck. That's for sure.
It has to suck though.
Oh yeah, it has to. It has
If
to.
it, you sometimes you seek it. Like let's say even at work, I need to be stressed sometimes. Because if I'm not getting stressed, I'm getting fucking bored.
It goes, yeah, it goes back to our conversation, previous episodes about how, happiness is like the enemy of, well, I forget, I always forget this, like
Well,
complacency, like we just settle, like
oh,
when we're happy. Yeah,
kind of like like I don't know if you've heard of the good is the enemy of the great or something,
something like that. Yeah.
right?
Like if there's no struggle, if there's no like friction, we don't, we're humans just we just tend to like, oh, okay, I'm content. Like I don't need to go anywhere else. Like, I don't need to
Most
push
people are
myself
like that,
further.
right? That's what most people are, right?
Yeah, bro. Like I was like that.
I was
Now
like
I
that
still,
too.
yeah, I still have a tendency to be like that, but now like I'm aware. I'm not, in my mindset. I'm always like thinking about that. Like this
But
isn't this isn't
yeah,
your end. This isn't your end goal. Like this
yeah,
is only a stop. It's not a destination. It's a stop.
yeah.
It's a rest break.
How I see it sometimes, I see it as a training. Whatever is happening to you today, or any challenge that's happening to you today, is really life's gift to you to equip you with what you need for what's coming next. Because if you can't handle this shit, and then that means you're not ready for the next challenge. Like
Yeah.
you're just you'll stay there. You'll stay at the
Yeah.
bottom. You're gonna cry, keep crying, and feel sorry
I
for
like
yourself. Fuck.
you look at it through that, and I like that. I agree with that. I look at it more through a lot of like sport comparison, like
Mm-hmm.
basketball. Like of course, like that's what kind of like resonates with me.
Yeah.
So it's more like for me, it's your goal is not to win a playoff round. Your goal is a championship. Like don't get that confused. When it comes to pushing yourself, some people are just like, "Oh, I won this one round. I'm good. I'm gonna live there. This is my home."
Mm-hmm.
No, like don't lose sight of
Mm-hmm.
what's your goal. What's your end goal? Your end goal is championship, and that's what you need to. And it's hard sometimes. You get
Mm-hmm.
lost in like the comfort and the success.
Um, yeah, going back to what you said about success. Every time you reach a finish line, every finish line is really just a starting. It's the starting line for another adventure. It
Hmm.
never ends.
No, the ending
Never.
is when you die. That's
Yeah.
the finish line right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's always new dragons to slay. There's always new adventures to.
There's
That's always, man.
higher mountains to
Yeah,
climb.
higher mountains, lower valleys, whatever. That's why I
Whatever.
love that we embraced like the alchemist and like Paulo Coelho,
Quello.
Que-
Quello.
Coelho, however you say his name. Like it's just it changed my life and the way I think so much because of that.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's just sometimes I forget. Like I get lost in like the daily crap,
Okay.
and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'm living my life like how everybody else, but I snap out
Mhm.
of it, and I always think like that. Like it makes you think deeper. It makes you reflect on deeper things.
Right, and that's what I liked about the book. Right, it falls on the spiritual side of things. Now, um, but let's get into this. Like I realized the mistake though when I read The Alchemist.
Okay,
And here's the mistake that I made is that I took it too literally. Right. It
talk to me.
when I read The Alchemist, it prompted me to to try before I read The Alchemist. By the way, like I really planned on like leaving or going somewhere, but it after reading The Alchemist, it primed me to to travel, and I did travel to a few places. Your place. I even visited Liz, and go to other places, and 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 it was fun. But what I realized too was I traveled not because I wanted to travel. Though, you know, the main reason why I'm traveling is because I'm trying to escape my life, my boring life. That's what it is.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
But how
So
tie this back to the alchemist? Like, how was
I,
it that you took it too serious? Like,
I took it too literally. That's what I'm trying to say. Right. There's a part of it that I guess that was the part of it. I took it too literally.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Yeah. I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I guess it's not. I guess it's not a mistake that I took it too literally, but I guess I looked at it more like a magic pill um, to end my boredom in life. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm not explaining this properly. I'm
You're
not talking
not.
about
It
the whole.
sucks.
I'm not talking about the book The Alchemist, but the I'm talking about the traveling aspect of things, right? That's what I'm talking about. It's like I tried to follow a path and been to places here and there, and look at, if I was to take the book too literally, like look at me, I'm back in Winnipeg, and now I have a family.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, it
you
worked.
know what I mean? You know what I mean? It
No, but let me try to interpret what you said. I think you were you decided to fix your life in the wrong way by not addressing the problem. You looked outside instead of looking inside.
Yeah,
Instead of like, why is your life boring? What makes it boring? Like,
yeah,
there
yeah,
has to be. That's not, traveling is not going to fix that.
yeah.
Traveling is just going to distract you from
It,
whatever
it
that
it's
is.
just a delay. It's just a delay, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Um, so, but anyways, but it's what helped me, travel to those places. I'm not saying that I regret going to those places. It's just that it would have been more fun if I was a happier person back then.
Yeah, if you're doing it for not the wrong reasons.
Right, right. If I wasn't traveling to skate, then
Yeah,
it would have been
exactly.
so much better.
I know,
Uh,
I know, I know people that does that. Um, I'd say, people tend to do that in general, but not to the full extent. Sometimes you just need to travel to get away. That's why people's like, I just need to get away.
yeah, but here's the thing. Like obviously, and that's where I'm trying to get at. Sometimes when I see people posting pic, and I'm not saying that they're depressed or anything like that, but I can sometimes relate to the reason why there's an excessive, you know, uh, fronting of places that you've been to and stuff. Um, and I'm
Yeah,
sometimes I
yeah,
wonder.
you analyze the reason why they're
I
doing
am.
that.
I'm,
Like,
hold on. Let me rephrase what I just said there. I guess sometimes I'm wondering if they're doing it out of the reason why they're doing this and that. Maybe they just love to travel. Um, I don't know, but
who
because I've had that
knows?
but because I've had that experience too before, sometimes I wonder if they're going through the exact same thing that I went through, right? It's yeah,
Yeah, who knows the reason? Because there's so many. It could be just because they're proud and they wanna brag, or it could be because of your reason, or it could be
it,
they just want some likes. Because sometimes a lot of these people ain't living their lives. They're trying to travel, but they just travel for them so they can post pictures, so they can get likes. Bro, so many people, and I can kind of like use this as a comparison of life. Some people are not really living their lives. They're just living their lives one post at a time, like social media, you know? There's this one story that I've read, and I might have seen one in like real life.
mhm,
One of the girls, this was back in a couple of months ago when the protests and
mhm,
the riot, all the social stuff was happening
mhm,
here in America.
mhm.
I read something about this girl who who went to the protest sites just to take a picture, to post that she's, with with the movement.
Yeah,
Took a
it's
picture.
supportive.
After that, left. Yep. And someone like took a video of her while she's doing that. Ridiculous, right? Ridiculous. But you can use that as a metaphor. Some people are just pretending to live their lives or just pretending to live a life.
Well, maybe that's what I did too, right? Hold on.
Yeah,
Yes and no. Yes and no.
yeah.
Yes and no. I did enjoy, some aspects of it too. However, again, I guess even after doing it, I was still depressed. Like back then, I didn't really care about bragging that I've been to this and that. But I'm just, I guess I'm excited to share it you that hey, um, it's a new experience. I'm looking for something new. It's to fill in that hole, right? That I
The
couldn't.
void. You gotta fill that
Yeah.
void. But
Um,
yeah, but yeah, man, like it's you can apply that to life. Like I said, some people are
Yeah.
just living their lives like that. It's fake. It's hard.
I wouldn't
Social
call it
media,
I wouldn't call it fake. It's just that it's not
it's not
like
real.
it's not
What's
coming
not real?
it's not
What's
coming
not real is
from,
fake, right?
well, no, it's just it's not coming from,
It's not genuine.
maybe a good, yeah, not
So
authentic.
fake.
Sure. uh,
uh,
yeah, yeah,
I don't mean, I'm not trying to criticize, those people. Everybody
that's what
lives
people
their
want
own
to do.
life. Everybody's got their own problems, and I'm not about to solve people's problems. But it's
Yeah,
just
I
and I'm
stopped
not saying,
trying to solve
and I'm
people's
not,
problems.
yeah, and I'm not saying that I'm not guilty of that. I've been guilty of that. That's why social media is such a blessing and a curse, because who knows
Yeah, well, that.
who knows the sorry,
Mhm,
let me just finish this. Like, who knows the
mhm,
consequences of the age of social media to like kids? Because like what we talked about on the previous episodes, we
mhm,
lived lives where there wasn't any computer.
mhm,
Like we experienced that life. So
mhm,
we our brain developed like in a more traditional way than the kids nowadays. Because
mhm.
nowadays, that's all they've known. They've had social media they've had Facebook since they were like 4 years old, 5 years old. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah, yeah,
basically
it's
like
different.
since they were born.
Oh, it's
So
gonna
who
suck for my
knows?
daughter then, eh?
All our kids.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's where training, like, parenting comes in, right? Because sometimes, let's admit it, like, if you're not everyone that posts something on social media, maybe they're just happy with, the place that they've been to and stuff.
Yeah, of course, of
That that
course.
and and again, like, I'm not making, but sometimes when it becomes a little too excessive, then that's when I'm like, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's
Um,
either it's either they're that they're happy and proud, or well, I'm not saying it's either this or that, but it could be that, or it could be because they're addicted to social media.
it could be
You
that
know,
too. There's a
yeah,
lot of
just
reasons, I guess.
addicted. It makes them happy, like all the little likes that they get. It's like they're counting on the likes. Like, oh, if I get
Hmm.
like 100 likes, that means what I posted was validated. No, that's not. You don't measure it like from likes, bro. Like,
Yeah,
if you want to post something that you're proud of, if you want to post something that's you wanted to post,
that's
who
something to
cares
post though.
if you don't get any likes from that? That
Doesn't
shouldn't
matter.
invalidate it. And that's where the psychology thing comes into it. And I'm curious to see if there's any studies about this, like how the social media age is different from. I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, you know what?
I want to read on.
That reminded me of something. Our conversation with there was the reunion conversation with Jeko and Beo and all those guys, and I think I mentioned something. Well, I told them that I have a daughter, and they're like, "How come you're not posting any
Jekyll and
pictures?"
Beho meeting high
Yeah,
school
yeah,
friends. But go ahead.
friends that we
Childhood
grew up in
friends. Yeah.
back in the Philippines.
Yeah.
You're wondering, like, how come you're not posting any pictures of your daughter? And they're like, aren't you proud of her? I'm like, see, that's the thing. It's the complete opposite. I'm proud of my daughter. I love my daughter, but because I love her so much that,
I'm trying to
um,
protect her from that.
yeah, it's like, and it's the thing. Like, I don't need to show her to the world. I can just enjoy it, enjoy her on my own. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I guess it's different. But for them to think that me not posting a picture of her kind of means that I'm not proud of her is a little skewed. It's the opposite. And
Well, let me
you
defend.
know,
Let me defend them, because
okay.
I kind of felt the same way.
Uh-huh.
And I'll tell you why.
Uh-huh.
Because it's it goes along with your personality that you would do something like that. It's not within the realm of your normal to do
Mm-hmm.
that for those reasons.
Mm.
So it's not like they're coming out of left field.
Okay.
Obviously you saying this, meaning, it's not, of course it's not true. Like, you're not posting pictures of her because you're not
Proud of
proud.
her. Hmm.
Right. But like I said, like, to assume that, knowing your personality and knowing, of course they know you ever since you were younger.
Hmm.
It's,
Hmm.
you can't blame them for that.
I guess so.
And the
Yeah, I guess
second
so.
Yeah, and the second one is, there's no second one. I think that was it. It was just a one big one. But
Or
yeah,
or maybe they want to know more about her because we're friends, right?
that too. Oh, I
I,
remember the second one now. Hang on, I'm
yeah.
sorry. The second one is, they're trying to measure the your actions through the normal the normal lens of society, which is, if someone's proud of someone, they usually, what they would do, they would post it on their social media.
You
So
mean?
they're measuring what.
Well, here's the thing. Like, well, before I had a kid, like I've had friends who, um, I'm talking about people on Facebook. I won't call it friends, but people on Facebook,
social
po-
social media friends.
social media friends, or like they're not going to be my friend anyways if they're not going to be on my Facebook if I haven't met them. But people sometimes are so proud of their kid that they would post, a picture of them, um, billion pictures of them on Facebook, and
Mm-hmm.
it's gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, this is getting fucking boring now. Where um, you know, um, it's kind of like a diary, but
The
in my head, like,
chronicling their lives.
oh yeah, like first bite here, second bite, and
Dude.
then it's like there's
Okay. I,
three
I, I do
frames of the exact same.
I, I have an issue with that too. Not specifically that, but people, like, I don't know. You might be guilty of this. Your wife might be guilty of this, or somebody that you know.
Maybe. I'm
But
sure.
like, when people just post one thing and that's it, like, it makes me think of, like, for example, if someone, I know that this person used, before
Hmm.
they had a baby, right? For example,
Hmm.
let's just use your name for example. Before,
Hmm.
I know you, obviously, before you had a kid, and
Hmm.
I know the content that you post on your social media.
Hmm.
But as soon as you get a kid, 100% of your content in your social media is all about your kid, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, just using you as an example.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
do you what do you think my reaction would be? Would I, like, still follow you? Because, like, okay, I'm taking it in the wrong way. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
I,
just the
I,
minor reason. The whole, like, following, but the main reason why I'm bringing this up is, sometimes it makes me think of, the hows and the whys of things. Like,
I do that a lot.
the, yeah, this thing, is this your life now? Just this, like, it's kind of, it's weird, but it's kind of like, I kind of feel sad that your life just revolves around your kid now. Like, it's like your dreams and your hopes just stop mattering as soon as your kid, like, does that make sense? And I'm just like, it sounds kind of mean,
I,
but
I,
at the
I,
same time, I'm
I,
like,
I don't understand what you're saying, but let me defend these people.
yeah,
It,
yeah, of
it,
course,
it,
defend it
it,
for
it, it,
sure.
it, it, it
You're a
might not,
daddy, of course.
yeah, that might not be the reason why. Um, Maybe the reason why they're posting is
I'm
because,
about to offend so many people, but go
well,
ahead.
I know, but I guess what I'm trying to say is when people starts, it doesn't matter if it's a kid, if it's your favorite drink, right,
Yeah.
or it's your favorite shirt or activity. The moment you start posting 10 pictures a day of this, whatever this is, you're spamming. And when you're spamming your friends, regardless of what it is, it's just, you know, it's kind of annoying. Like it becomes it's not as exciting anymore because you're showing the exact same fucking thing over and over and over. Um, it doesn't add spice to the feed that you're getting on your social
It's
media.
not it's not even spamming for me, because one could just post one picture once a week. But if it's just about one thing, specific, let's just use the baby thing.
Yeah,
If they're just posting out the baby, then it's gonna make me think like, does your life, do you not have a life anymore? Is this the only thing that matters? Not matters. It's the only thing that's happening in your life. That's kind of sad.
it is.
Like to me,
It
that's
is.
kind of sad.
And
Like you're being oh, this is another thing. I'm like thinking so many things. Like people on social media that you know how like you have your profile and then you have like this little bio.
mhm,
Some people would put like this and this is wife, this and this is husband,
mhm,
and in my head I'm like, so that's what you want to present yourself into the world. You're somebody's this.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Like what
I totally understand where you're coming. I
yeah,
think I
it's like
understand what you're saying because
Ramon's wife. I'm just Ramon's wife. Is that's the people that are seeing your profile for the first time, social media. That's the thing that you want them to know, that you're just someone's significant
hey,
other.
okay, let me defend this people,
Please
right?
do.
Right? Maybe I've got nothing else to write because I don't know how to make things more interesting, and maybe that's the
So you're just boring. So that's who you are. You're just boring.
maybe that's what it
Yeah,
is, right? Like if
yeah, yeah.
like it's kind of like me, like I don't know what else to write. Let me just fucking write this thing down, just so I have something to write in there in the bio.
Right.
You know what I mean? But going back to what you're saying, it it's it's very important that you don't give up. I understand what you're saying. Like it's very important that you don't give everything up just because you have a kid. Doesn't mean that your life should revolve around uh, your kid. Your kid is important. I'm not saying the kid's not important,
Yeah.
but
That I
all of you guys are little. Like even like my fiance, like I keep telling her, you have goals in life, and if you do, go after it. I have
mhm.
my own too, and we have goals together. So there's like three different goals happening at the same time, and same with her baby. She's gonna have her own goals in life too. Like you don't have to follow ours. You're gonna have to go at it on your own,
Do you
right?
feel yeah, go ahead and finish your point because I gotta
Yeah,
ask you
like
something.
everyone needs to be. You're all individuals. You don't um see. I don't know where things are. Well, yeah, again, I'm offending a lot of people. I might offend a lot of people too, but fuck. Like, you can't
It
be.
doesn't matter. Who cares? Let's
Yeah,
not care
yeah.
about people who get offended. Nobody's even listening to this crap, so it's fine.
Yeah, like, you have like everyone has their own dreams, and you should,
Mm,
again, going back to the argument, you should follow it, right?
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So do you think that this is a culture thing, just like a Filipino thing? Because I feel like there's a lot
No.
of people are. It's not like that.
Oh,
Okay,
it could,
like
it could be, it could be, it could be,
like
it could be.
you're just you, that's your life. Like you're just a parent. I'm not minimizing the job as a parent. Of course, like that's
It's
important. But
tough. Hmm.
once this, if you get a kid, your dreams doesn't go away, bro. Like the things that you want in life are still there. They just don't go away. Of course.
You,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
you know what's bad though? When you start using your kid as the reason why you didn't achieve your dreams. It's unfair for the kid, right? It's not.
Yeah. Why are you putting that on your kid? Like,
Yeah,
why?
yeah,
What is you? The kid becomes a scapegoat.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
and this is like all y'all parents do this is all the reason. Oh, I can't go out because of Alexis. I can't do this because of Alexis. Oh, so Lexi's this, Lexi's that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just using your
No.
kid as an example, but
Yeah, yeah. No,
you get what I'm
understood.
saying.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, who knows? Once I get a kid, I might just be this one, one of those people that I'm like making fun of right now. Who knows?
It it
But
it's a phase, right? Because you're obviously gonna say that. However, it gets to a point where you're like, nah, this kid matters way more than this, and therefore, maybe if this is what I really want to do, then I have to, prioritize more appropriately.
right,
It all boils down to that, right? Like even with this podcast, right? um, I'm not letting Alexi stop this podcast from happening. Like I can always find ways to make that adjustment,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that's exactly my blog that's gonna go out tomorrow. It's
Plug it in, baby. Plug
I'm
that shit, baby.
well hit okay. First of all, this blog that I'm talking about is really just a journal for myself. I'm writing it for myself. It's a record of, I guess, my weekly life or weekly thoughts.
But you
Um,
also have still you journal too, though, right? You have your
I
own.
do, I do.
Yeah.
Well, right here, because I follow Tim Ferriss. So, anyways, I um, I do journal. But and that's what it is. It's like a journal form on the internet. And what I'm about to talk about is, I'm doing so many fucking things, right? On top of what I'm already doing. I have
Mhm.
the podcast. I have this blog that I wanted to do. I want to make money online and all that other stuff. It becomes overwhelming, and people are sometimes are like, think you're doing a little too much of everything. But the thing is, I'm doing it because I find the challenge to be, I wouldn't call it fun, but it's fulfilling
Yeah.
like when I achieve that goal, then it's something that I wanted to have,
Yep.
because while I'm struggling to get there, I'm learning all these little lessons along the way that makes the journey, going back to the Alchemist, makes the journey even more fulfilling,
Yeah.
right? This podcast helped me become better at uh, doing presentations at like for my insurance career,
Yeah.
right? I became more
Okay. Yeah.
comfortable talking, um, you know, on camera.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, yes. Not the similar, but not the same. I
Hmm.
think for me, it's more perspective and just becoming a better conversationalist
Hmm.
through this. This is only episode 7, but when we stopped last week, I kind of felt kind of incomplete. Does that weird? Like I was like,
Yeah.
I
Well,
felt
it
like,
became a habit, right?
yeah,
It became like a habit.
it's becoming a habit, but
Hmm.
at the same time, it's also it goes back to the first episode. It's like it's an accountability thing. Like
Hmm.
it's good to talk to you about things because like your
Hmm.
perspective is different than mine, and then we also have our back and forth, and
Hmm.
it helps me frame
Hmm.
my thoughts.
Hmm.
And I followed your advice. I've also well, I haven't really started, but I'm
Started
starting to
journaling.
like
That's good.
yeah, I'm kind of starting. And without delving into specifics, do you
Hmm.
remember our last conversation post
Yeah, yeah,
episode
yeah,
last
yeah,
time?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you told me to think about it for a whole month, right?
Yeah. Like write it down.
Um,
Ask yourself why.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, just to give you an update, I'm just gonna update you on while we're recording, while in the
Hmm.
podcast, without without telling the
Any
listeners what
details
it
about it?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's still going. It hasn't changed.
That's
So
good.
I'm realizing something that it might not be a phase. It might be an
Something you really
actual.
want to do.
It might be that new adventure.
Yeah. And if that's the case, go for it. And that's all I can say too. Like whenever someone asks me, "Hey, should I do this?" Yeah, do it. Because if you don't do it, then you're gonna end up regretting it anyways.
It's always better just fail
Stop
than
fucking.
to not.
Yep.
Yeah,
Stop
that
wondering, because then.
yeah, bro. Like
Right.
that's what I've realized with this
Hmm.
whatever my experience. It made me realize that like this is so cliche. You only live once. YOLO, baby. It's
Hmm.
real though. The essence of that is real. Like
Yeah.
what? Don't let the little barriers, like imaginary constraints that life gives you,
Hmm.
to tell you that you can't do something, no matter how hard it is. If you want to do it, just try to do it.
Just, yeah. It's
Just try to
gonna
do it.
it's gonna annoy you though when you see people who who bitches about the smallest things, it's gonna irritate you. And again, I gotta keep going
Or
back to this, right? Keep going back to this because you're irritated because that was you, and this person who you're trying to hey, like you're trying to save doesn't really give a shit about what you have to say, right?
yeah.
They're thinking that you don't understand them, and it's
Well,
painful. Uh,
when you said that, my response is just mute them in your life. You know, you know what I mean. Sometimes I
I get annoyed by my dad sometimes when he,
oh well, you can't
angry.
meet your family.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. The smallest
I didn't know
things, man. The
that.
smallest things.
I didn't know you were talking about your dad.
I wasn't talking about my dad, but I just used my dad as an example. But there's a lot of people who bitches about the smallest things, and I'm like, man, life is so much better than that. Like you might want to lighten up a little bit, right? There's more.
All yeah, all it needs is a little bit of adjustment on perspective, and
Mhm.
that problem won't look so much as a problem
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, if you cut their ears off, see what happens, right? Whatever problem that you're having, well, it's now drowned by your, losing an ear or something, right?
That was such a weird analogy, but okay.
What I'm trying to say is, like, the problem, right? It just shows your lack of challenges in life. If you're not facing any challenges,
You're
then
not
that means you
living.
have to look for this. You have to look for the smallest challenges, right? To bitch about.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh.
right?
Yeah. It's because
You need challenges.
you need hardship. You need struggle. There's beauty in the
It's a
struggle.
need. It's a need. I don't know. Jordan Peterson talks about this, right? I don't know if you know
Yeah,
Jordan Peterson.
I
Yeah,
do.
you
I just
need.
don't follow him as much. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you need struggle. You need to. It's a need. It's a need. You need to be. You need to have problem. Having a problem is a need. But the thing is, find a problem that you love to solve, that you enjoy solving, right? If you don't enjoy solving that problem, then maybe it's not the right problem for you. Pick something else.
well,
But you
some
have to find a
problems,
problem to solve.
some problems just are real problems. You can't run away from them, no matter how difficult it is, or no matter how much you don't like to solve it.
But that's just
Problems
life.
are just problems.
But that's just life's, way of giving you an opportunity to smarten the fuck up. It is a
Yeah,
problem. I'm not right.
yeah,
It,
yeah. Or if you want to look at it in a spiritual like point of view, the whole saying that God doesn't give you. Oh no, pray for a stronger back, not for a lighter load.
yeah, it reminds me of going back to Paulo Coelho. I keep remembering this story about the devil and the angel from
Mm,
Warrior of the Light, right?
yes.
It
Well,
Man, it took me a
there's a
while.
couple of them. There's a couple of them. Which one are you talking about?
The one where like the warrior is asking the angel and the devil, and the devil goes, "Hey, let me help you,"
Oh
and then
yeah, they both.
the angel goes, oh no,
I
hold on,
I,
I will help you, right?
I will help you. Yeah.
So then it took me a while to understand what the fuck Paulo is trying to say there, and I think I told you my own interpretation that the devil, both of them are trying to help you, but
Hmm.
when the devil goes, "Let me help you," is basically trying to take all that struggle away from you, right? That's how I interpreted
Hmm.
it. And if
Hmm.
he's taking all that struggle away from you, well, then how are you going to learn? You're not learning anything. You're getting spoon fed everything, right? But when the angel goes, "I will help you," that tells me that both of them are going to do it at the same time. That both of them are going to share the struggle of getting to whatever the heck you want to get to. So one turns you
Hmm.
into a lazy person, and the other one turns you, well, helps you to take action, if that makes sense. That's how I'm seeing
Interesting.
it. You
Yeah.
probably have a different interpretation, but
Yeah.
it's very subtle, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's and it's there's no, I believe there's no correct
Right, right.
interpretation. It depends on how you perceive, in
It's all
yourself.
driven.
Like,
Yeah, it's all driven
yeah.
by our current beliefs, right?
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
whatever interpretation that we put in there.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, how would you interpret it?
Uh, I think for me, cause okay, so let's kind of explain the actual excerpt from
Mm-hmm.
that. So the Warrior of the Light is basically like encountering hardships or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
then both the angel and the devil offer help.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the Warrior of the Light was confused because they were both offering
help, right?
their assist, yeah, their help, yeah, they were both offering to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And the only difference is the devil says, "Let me help you," and the
Mm-hmm.
angel says, "I will help you."
Mm-hmm.
For me, that the way I interpret that is more of a, the devil doesn't automatically help you, and if he does help you, it comes with consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not a clean deal. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
always a back end. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like how, yeah, go eat the apple, but at the same time, there's consequence to that. But
Okay.
the devil doesn't, and the angel's like, "I will help you." It's a
Mm-hmm.
promise. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not open to interpretation, for me, because it's like, it's a promise. I will help you.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to choose the light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I see. That's interesting too. But yeah, I put a lot of thought into that. Because man, like the difference is so fucking subtle
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, going back to that though, like, it makes you think. Like, that's what I love about like his stuff, like the Warrior of the Light and the Alchemist. It
Mm-hmm.
makes you reflect and just
Mm-hmm.
think of things in a whole deeper level.
Like.
Yeah, there's so many lessons and little like knowledges, snippets of knowledge in the Warrior of the Light, the Alchemist, both books, because the Warrior of the Light is supposed to be like a companion thing for the Alchemist. Isn't that
I didn't
right?
even. I'll
Yeah,
be
I think
honest. I
so.
don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. So for me, it's both is kind of just one big book to me. It's one big
Yeah. It's a lot
it's
of
one
good
thing.
insights.
Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna bring this up earlier, but we went into this awesome like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
subject, and
Yeah.
this is actually, I don't know if you wanna get into this, or we want to punt this for next week.
Mm-hmm.
It made me think about it because during the wedding, I was just thinking about, love and all
Mm-hmm.
that crap in general.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me think about dating, and dating
Mm-hmm.
here in the West,
Oh,
meaning,
yeah. Okay.
in America and Canada, whatever, and back
Yeah.
in the Philippines. And
Mm-hmm.
it made me think about the concept of Ligaw,
Mm-hmm.
and how there's really
How it all works.
there's really not a Ligaw here. It's either
No.
you go on dates, and then, you like each other. It's, you
Yeah.
guys start dating.
Yeah.
Over in the Philippines, it's you even have to ask for permission. The term "pwede ba akong manligaw," meaning, can I court you?
Mm-hmm.
You have to ask that before something even starts.
Okay. Let
I
me
mean, for
challenge that
for
thought. Let me
for the
challenge
most
that
part.
thought. Yeah. Let me
Okay.
challenge that thought for a second. It's culture driven, right? I think that's what it all
Yeah.
is.
I mean,
That's
of
what it
course.
is, right? But I think we live in an age now where I don't know if people still do that, right?
I don't know either.
Right? Like we
Yeah.
could, like you and I could be talking about, you know, I don't, I don't have a good term for it, but kind of like a leftover of the past, right? With that term legal, and
Hmm.
you don't ask, you don't. If you guys are getting along and if things start to develop, then just fucking go at it, right?
But
The
you know what
fact
I
that you
mean,
have to
though.
ask,
Yeah, like
the
pwede
fact
bang
that you have to
manligaw.
ask,
You know how many times I've asked that and like been told no back in the day? Like,
no,
yeah, it's like,
no,
no,
we don't
or
we don't
just,
we don't talk about dating, but now that you brought it up, oh well, yeah, it's the same thing with me. Obviously, I've had a lot of rejections too, but I'm more
yeah,
picky
but
with, you know.
yeah, but for some reason, I forgot all about that, the concept of legal, because I've been here for so long, and it's just, I'm so immersed with the
Mhm,
culture here.
mhm,
This is my culture, as far as I'm
mhm,
concerned. So it's more of
mhm,
a, all right, hey, I'm gonna talk to you. You know, you like me, I like you. Let's go out. Let's go out lunch. Go out to dinner.
mhm,
Let's see how it goes. And then all of a
mhm.
sudden, we're just dating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's how it all is. Because if you get along with someone, then again, you can kind of tell too if, like, even the other person can tell if you're interested. Both of you guys can tell,
Oh,
right?
now I remember what my point to this, and
Okay.
I want to pose this question to you. So, some Filipino families, I'm about to sneeze. Some Filipino
Go
families
ahead.
here in the U.S. or Canada are still, traditional or have traditional parents,
Mhm,
right? Like
mhm,
they still adhere to that culture.
mhm,
So, if a guy is quote unquote Americanized and only go by what the culture, the norm of
mhm,
America,
mhm.
would you count that as disrespectful if he doesn't, the male doesn't adhere to what the girl's parents
I have
are
a good answer
imposing?
to I think I have a good answer to that question.
Okay. Is that disrespectful?
Hold on.
That,
Yeah, yeah.
wait, wait.
I totally understand what you're saying though, but here's the question: does it matter to her? If it does, then yes, you have to adhere to it. If it doesn't matter, then you don't. It all boils down
Hmm.
to it's about her, not about the parents, right? You're not trying to legal the parents. You're trying to legal the you're trying to get with the girl. You're not trying to get with the parents. So it has to go. Which one are you trying to do in terms
So
of
it's
goals?
a so it's a standard. It's like a double standard.
How
So
is it a
if
double standard though?
if it's if the girl doesn't care so much about it,
Hmm.
then it's not disrespectful because she doesn't care about it.
Well, what makes it disrespectful in the first place, right? It's disrespectful from the eyes of the parents, or is it disrespectful from
Yeah,
her eyes?
it's from the eyes of the parents because
Well, what does she?
they want their daughter to be treated in a certain type of
Right.
regard. It's a certain type of reverence that they expect the suitor to be,
Right. Well,
regardless of what the daughter feels.
what does the daughter have to say about it, right? If does she care about that, or she doesn't?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Then
yeah.
then the question,
By the way, there's not a real person.
right,
We're
right.
just making this up.
Well, then the question then is, what's the relationship between the kid and the parent, right? If she's close to her parents, then it does matter. It does matter. You have to, you know, um, it has something to do with like ego too, right? I think. Eh, Why?
Okay,
Because
so explain that.
here's the thing, right? If eh, the parents wanted things done a certain way and you wanted things done a different way, right? So one has to give in, right? Unless you guys want to strike that balance, between the two. And that's what I meant by ego, right? If if
I still don't
you
get
if
it.
well, go by what the parents think. If that's what they think, they should, you know if they think that's what's best for their daughter, then that's what you should that's what you should do. Assuming that you're willing to, go through that, because that just shows your dedication, right? But then you're like, screw this. I don't really want to, you know, um, deal with your parents. Then don't,
So if you okay, I get
you
what
know
you're
what I mean?
saying. So if you're the guy and you don't want to do that because you don't believe in that culture anymore, and it has nothing to do with being right or wrong, are you being disrespectful because you're not conforming to the culture and you're
Then,
just you know
yeah,
you're basically just like, this is what I believe,
then that's what I mean.
no.
That's what I'm
Yeah, so
saying,
is
though. It's
that
ego.
is
That's what I'm
that
saying, though. It's ego, right? It,
I
it
still don't get this ego thing. Like, what's that? It's not.
well, fuck.
What's the ego got to do with
Let,
anything,
let,
dude? What's ego got to do with it?
well,
Explain it to me. I don't understand.
I am. When I say ego, I'm talking about your own beliefs, right? Like, this is what I fucking believe, and here's what you should, take. Here's what I believe, and you should take it. Parents is doing this. The parents doing the same thing. Well, here's what I believe, and you should take it. Because if you don't take it, then you're being disrespectful, and you're like, well, if you don't take mine, then you're also disrespecting my own culture or the way I do things, right? Someone has to give, and parents are not going to give in for sure, because
Okay,
you're the one who wants their daughter.
if the son doesn't give in, is he being disrespectful?
um this is where I'm going to be like, well, define disrespectful, right? I'd say yes. Yeah, yeah, he's being
Mm,
disrespectful, because then if you respect the parents, the parents belief, if you're respecting their belief that that's what's best for their daughter, then you are disrespecting it.
right, right. Okay, I'm gonna put it in a simple term
Okay.
than this. If you're a dude, a
Hmm.
non-Asian dude, that for the first time, it's your first time going inside an Asian person's house. You don't believe in taking off your
that
shoes,
that 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 makes a
or
difference. Hold on, that
oh,
makes a big
wait,
difference.
wait, wait. You don't believe that you don't care about taking shoes off, but you're in someone else's house. You're someone else's property. You you know you don't. It has nothing to do with your beliefs. You respect the person's rules under that person's house. And with the whole Ligaw and with the whole like culture and respect, by trying to date someone else's daughter, you're kind of going under someone's roof per se, because that's someone's kid. And regardless of what your beliefs, you should always try to yield out of respect
Yes,
to you
yes,
know
yes.
the
Uh,
person.
but
That's
here's
yeah, that's my take to that.
but you said something that changes everything. When you said non-Asian or non-Filipino, changes everything, right? If you're a
Why?
parent,
Why does it change
oh,
everything?
of course. If you're a parent, if you're a Filipino parent and you see, like, and you see a person who is from a different ethnicity, right? What were you thinking for them to realize that they should believe what you believe? Totally different culture.
That's racist, bro, because respect is respect regardless of what race, creed, or culture. Doesn't matter. So if someone
It
is
does. It
white,
does matter.
if someone else is
It does
white, someone
matter.
else is black, does that mean they're above a certain standard of our Asian culture?
That's not
Nah,
what I'm
B.
saying. That's not
Nah,
what I'm
B.
saying. That's not what I'm
You
saying.
you is
Like,
a racist.
no, no, no. Here's what I'm saying. If I'm the
Get
parents,
your get your
if I'm
racist
the,
belief out of here.
if I'm the parents, right, and I see a non-Filipino dude trying to get with my daughter, then obviously I'd be like, well, this person's not Filipino, and therefore whatever standards that I have, well, I can't really expect him to do any of that. This person doesn't
Mm.
have any clue. But if
Well,
the person is Filipino, then I'm like, okay, then I should expect you to do some Filipino shit.
but if it's a Filipino person who's born in America, what's the difference?
There's a difference. Then it falls down to the parents, right? It is.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It
See,
is. Then it becomes between parents, right?
like the standards thing, because for me, like if I was in your shoes with that situation, I'd be like, you're saying like, oh, if it's a non-Asian person, whether white or black or whatever, it's they don't know the culture. But if I
Yeah.
raise my daughter right, then my daughter would be able to be like, listen, this is my family. If you're gonna want to be with me, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to play ball.
Well,
This
then
these
if
are these are the rules in my household. These are the rules in my little game. You're gonna have to play under these rules.
then that's what you should
Regard
follow, right?
Yeah,
They made
regardless of.
they made movies out of that stuff,
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
right? Like so that's what I mean. Then you have to yield. You have to
Even
yield.
like, yeah, even like subcultures in the US or Canada, like,
Hmm.
like the white people, black people, Hispanics.
Hmm.
That's still like a little bit of difference in the culture, like subcultures.
Yeah,
So
and there should be, right? Like even with Filipinos, there's if you grew up in North America, you have a different set of beliefs, right?
yeah, you're always gonna be more accustomed to the place
Right,
that you're at,
right.
regardless of what your race is.
Right. So now, if this person you're trying to get with is some hardcore Filipino who's, who still believe in the, their, who brought their culture back home, then you're just asking for some, I'd say challenge, right? That's all it is. And if you're willing to go through that challenge, then good. If not, go find someone else. Parents are
Challenge.
parents. What I'm trying to say is, like, there shouldn't even be a question um, of being respectful or disrespectful. I think a more important question you need to ask yourself is it even worth it? If it's not, go find something else. Same thing with jobs. Not happy?
No, I
Find
think
something else.
I think it's still not respectful, disrespectful. It's if you want to,
We're
I
talking
go
about
back in the
beliefs here, though.
whole.
We're talking about
Oh,
beliefs,
just
though,
beliefs.
right? Well,
Yeah.
that's what
Oh,
I mean.
okay,
Like
okay.
the parents have their own way of thinking things, and you have your own way of thinking things, right? So now, if the parents does not really respect your way of thinking things, then you should respect theirs. But if you don't, and this is where like I keep talking about ego, right? Someone has to give in. Now,
I think it's more of a what if the parent. It's obviously important enough for the parents, and
uh
if this isn't really important to you, like what's the point of fighting it? Sometimes you just got to yield, like what you said.
yeah,
Sometimes you
yeah,
just out of respect. If you respect them, that's why like this whole ego crap. I'm not following the ego thing because it's not about ego. It's more of like ideas and your will.
well,
It's not about like it's not about I don't see the ego part in it. That's why I'm
the
having like a struggle with your comparison.
my analogy, yeah,
Yeah.
but like when I say ego, I'm not really talking about um your own belief system. You're trying to shove it into someone else's.
Yeah, right. And it's like
That's
eh,
where my ego is coming
yeah.
from.
If we want to boil it down to it, like what you said with the whole like if it's is it worth it or not? Like, do you like this girl enough? You know, if this girl is
Yeah,
if this girl or boy, if
and
you
and and
like
and,
them enough.
and the girl has to weigh in too, right?
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, if you're meeting the
There's
person's parents, it's got to be some kind of serious.
and here's the other thing, not always, fuck, not always. But and again, like
Uh,
the more specific you are with your question, the
hmm
the more specific my answer is gonna get. But if you're generic, then obviously my answer is probably gonna be like depends. A lot of people hate that fucking answer, but a lot of questions depends on a certain situation. Like you can't just what if this if that happens to you? Well, hold on a second. What's the context of the question? There's a context in there. I get this a lot
you're
from work.
you're just
I'm
overthinking. It's just
I overthink. You know me.
yeah, yeah. It's just conversation, dude. You just ask. Whatever the first thing that comes in your head.
Let me ask you,
Hmm.
why did you bring this up? Like, does
I
it something to
I
do?
I literally told you why. I was in a wedding and the whole like Ligaw thing came up, and it made me think about that.
Oh,
That's what it is.
yeah,
It's just,
yeah. If you're in
eh,
if you're in North America though, I don't know. It
I
may
think I
not
don't.
matter
It's
anymore.
I still know some Filipinas girls, not themselves per se, but I think this is what I that's why I brought this up because I know some Filipina girls that have parents that are like that,
Hmm.
very old school, very traditional, but they
Hmm.
themselves, the girls, are not. You know, they're
Hmm.
born here, they're very modern, but they respect and they're very family oriented that
Hmm.
they adhere to those beliefs. Does that make sense? Like,
Sort of, yeah,
so they're both modern and traditional at the same time. They have
yeah.
the Western thinking and communication,
Hmm.
but they're very conservative when it comes to like
Yeah, yeah.
dating.
Well, that's just parents trying to pass down their culture, right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. It's just different,
And
right?
then go piggybacking on your thing about the challenges. You know, some guys are just like, especially guys that are here,
Hmm.
are from here. They're just like,
Hmm.
bro, this isn't worth it. Like, why am
Hmm.
I gonna work this? You know, why am I gonna work this hard for
This
some
is
just to get in your pants? Like, I'm just gonna download
there you
Tinder,
go.
go match with
Yeah.
another girl, get in, get out, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. That's it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you're just trying to get into the pants, then yeah, you're right. Maybe it's not worth it. Go find someone else
Uh,
who's, you know,
hmm
who
So
wants what you want, right? It all boils
yeah,
down to that.
it all boils down to that. It all boils down to like how much you like the person.
Yeah, right. So that's how I see it. But here's what I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you. Um, I know it must be weird too, because um, there's a pandemic out there. But did you meet anyone new? Talking
Mm.
about, right? Did
No.
you find did you meet someone, like, like a new potential friend or something from going to an event like that?
I've all the people that were there. I basically knew all of them.
Ah,
So yeah. So
I see.
nothing, no potential for any kind of that. But I've connected with some friends, some regular friends that
Mm-hmm.
because of that event, I talked to them more. It's only been a week,
Mm-hmm.
but like I've reconnected with some of the friends that I've had that I haven't talked to in a while. So that was a good thing.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as like potential, bro, this is gonna be. I'm gonna punt this for a different episode because we're about to end this. But
Yeah.
when it comes to like
Like we're
dating and all
talking
that,
about dating episode.
yeah. When it comes to like
Yeah.
dating stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
at first, you know the term emotionally unavailable. Like
Not really.
people,
No.
okay,
No.
so people throw that term a lot, and I've heard it so many times, and I've always thought that this is just some BS term that people use to basically just d- um to what do you call deny someone, not deny, but reject
Reject.
someone. Yeah, reject someone. It's like, I'm emotional available. I've always thought it was BS.
Matumbo. Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mutombo. Yeah, not bro. It's real. Emotional being emotional available is real because that's like if I have to choose what's your relationship status? I am emotionally unavailable, and I will tell you guys why next episode. Okay?
All right. Maybe that's something that we can,
Yeah, yeah.
because
So,
now I'm like, I'm not. It's not quite sitting well with me what you just said there. It's not. When you say it's real, I'm like, I might want to challenge that for a second. But
you want to get into it right now?
no, let like maybe we should write that down somewhere else. I know we've gone through The Alchemist today. We wasn't really intending to do that, but um,
actually have a couple more things that I want to bring
okay,
up, but I just
you
don't
might
have
want to
my
bring them up
other.
now.
No, I don't have it with me, so it doesn't matter.
What do you
It's
mean
in
by
one.
have it like
I wrote it on my other notebook.
on a notebook?
Yeah, this is my
Yeah,
this is my music mode notebook. So
emotionally unavailable. Yeah, I can kind of understand what it means. Yeah,
yeah,
but
like I said, yeah,
we're gonna
we'll talk about.
we're gonna get into, I guess, dating next time. I'm like, I'll be honest, I suck at dating, so I'm just lucky that I
Well,
found my fiance.
yeah, yeah, you
There's a
do
lot of
suck at dating.
stories. There's
I
a lot
know.
there's a lot of stories that I can come up with.
We're about to get into that thing next week.
It's gonna be a long episode.
uh,
Um, but
we're gonna mention K.
huh?
You're gonna
No,
mention K.
no, no.
You're gonna mention
We're
H.
not. We're not. We're not gonna. I'm not
We
gonna
oh
mention.
are
I'm
we
not
not
gonna
gonna name
mention any
drop?
of that. No, we're not.
Or
We're
we're
not
not
gonna
gonna.
name
Okay.
drop. We're not. We're
Okay.
just gonna. Um. Yeah, we're not gonna name drop, and we're gonna. I'm gonna keep it vague as much as possible.
It's not like they're gonna listen to this.
It doesn't matter. It
But
doesn't matter.
by the way, one of your, you know,
Mm.
little girl toys from the past followed us on Instagram. BT Dubs,
Who?
just so you know.
Oh, BT Dubs.
BT
Okay.
Dubs, by the way. Yeah, one of your little friend from the past followed
You know
us.
what?
Do you know who? Do you know who?
No, not really. I know. I can check it later, I guess. That's good.
Mm,
I'm glad. Okay.
so,
Let's pick.
so it's good.
Let me pick up that trail. Um, I had a chance to check out the Instagram account. By the way, I never
You saw,
followed it. I never followed
yeah,
it,
yeah,
but I
like,
did.
yeah.
I think I did.
I know.
I
Like, how do you not
eventually
follow?
did. I eventually did, and
Follow,
I like that.
like all the things. Just add. That's the thing too. Like, you don't like the YouTube stuff. Like the episodes, like the posts.
Right, but okay. Let me finish my thought here. So I
I'll
looked
finish
at
with that.
this. I looked at the you know the account, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
huh. It's interesting how some people followed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a list of people who were like, huh, I didn't realize that people would follow or listen to it really. I
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was
was
telling
like,
you the other week. Yeah,
um,
that's what I was telling you the
well, I
other
guess
week.
because I never paid much attention because, I was,
Yeah,
but
and that's why I we
my
need to
head's,
have like we need to have like some kind of content there. I mean, I'm gonna post the
yeah,
like a
I know you do
picture
that.
of yeah, I'm
I,
gonna post a picture of the episodes, obviously. And I'm actually
I,
thinking about no, go ahead, keep going.
I started thinking about that too, by the way.
Okay,
I'll
good.
add that into, I met with a friend, this week, and I didn't realize that um, you can have two Instagram accounts in your,
Mm-hmm.
two. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But then, my head started, working again, trying to think about, stuff for my own actually. But it also made me think about, the podcast,
Yeah, because I
the
also
social
have
post. Yeah.
yeah, I also have an Instagram account for my music stuff. So like I have
Yeah.
like four accounts that's linked to my account.
Well, that's what he has, got 4 accounts. I was like, how the heck is that possible? See, even I
Yeah.
don't even. I just found out that you can do that this
Yeah.
week. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So again, it's interesting. Interesting. I'm thinking about it,
Because okay,
and
let's go ahead and talk about this here. The just being transparent.
mhm,
So like if you do, because if we do the episodes like we normally do, which is every week.
mhm,
So one week it would be an episode post, like a post about our episode. I would do that. and
Mhm.
then another week could be like one of your arts. So you only have to do that thing like twice a month.
Oh, you're talking about the content? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have a bit.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's like I'm gonna post it on one week and then you can post another week. You know, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
not too overwhelming for you.
yeah, yeah. No, like I have some tools that I can use. I think
Okay.
it's just a matter of um,
And
putting something out there that actually matters. You know what I mean?
I mean, it doesn't have to. You could animate. You can animate our conversations that we had. You know what I'm saying? Like from an episode. That's actually what I wanted you to do. It's like just pick a conversation that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
important in the episode
Mm-hmm.
and just make an art out of it.
Yeah.
Does that
Well,
make sense? Like
it does. It
yeah.
does. Just when you say art, that's when I'm like, mm.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not an artist, so I don't know
Yeah.
how
I'll
to
I'll I'll I'll
transfer that.
I'll I'll find a yeah.
Yeah, like for
I'll think about
example,
it.
okay, like for example, like last episode, it's like we talked about big egos a lot. Something like that, like a big ego
Hmm.
type of post, or
Right.
whatever. I don't know.
Well, I'll think of something, but it's not gonna be my artwork. That I
Yeah,
know for
that's
sure.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'll think of something. But
So
okay, I think
yeah,
it's yeah.
yeah, we're
Let's pick
good.
it up with dating next time.
Hmm.
And again, yeah, we're about to end this.
Tell people
Yeah,
where they can find you.
you guys can find me at reyesrjt.com. That's all yeah, that's where you're gonna find all of everything that I do on the internet, except for this one actually. So yeah, that's that. What about you? That's my
Uh,
plug right there.
Ralphie Bones, Ralph.
On Instagram.
Instagram, you can find me at Ralphie Bones, RALPHIEBONES _. Also, the podcast, follow it on Instagram, official Balikbayan Box Pod. And for the music stuff, you can follow me on reverbnation.com/oldbra.
Old bra, old bra,
Yes,
old
sir.
bro. But if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want us to talk about something, if you guys have a problem, let's hash it out. Message us,
Yeah,
right? It
click that subscribe. We're promised we're gonna put out, like I said,
and
sometimes we skip weeks, but we're not gonna skip 2 weeks. We promise you that. It's not gonna
we're
be that long.
we're not gonna name you either, right? Like we're gonna keep you anonymous.
Unless
So
you want to.
yeah,
Unless you
unless
want
you
to be
want to,
named.
or if you want to hop on the Zoom meeting as well, you're
Uh,
welcome to do that.
well, no, you're not welcome to do that. Yeah, we'll see. You just don't put out an open invitation like that. Yeah, message us
This
and
is
we'll see how it goes.
these are things that Ralph and I have to talk about in the background. I
Yeah,
just thought about it. I'm just thinking out loud.
yeah. All
Anyways,
right.
we're gonna end this now. Good night, fellas.
Ciao, baby. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. You might wanna. Yeah, we can talk about chow next time. Like, yeah, why
Ciao.
chow? Chow
Ciao.
is chow is for eating.
Bye. Ciao.
Anyways, anyway, bye guys.
Ciao.